Welcome to Dead Serious, the podcast where the paranormal meets true crime, and we pretend that's totally normal. I'm Peyton,
And I'm Kenya.
your guide to everything spooky, strange, and straight up illegal. So grab your coffee, your crystals, and maybe a lawyer. It's gonna get weird.
Yes. Okay. As we said, I'm Kenya,
And I'm Peyton.
and this is our totally for fun, not for anyone else podcast. And yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the Sodder Children disappearance. Now, fair warning, this is a very long one, and Peyton doesn't know anything about this.
We're trying something new because
last time it didn't work well. Also, this is our first video, so
actual
yay.
video. Yeah.
Anyways, okay. Sodder Children disappearance. December 24th, 1945, the Sodder family was at home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The occupants of the house were George and Jenny Sodder, as well as their 10 kids. Note, one of their kids was away at the army, so he wasn't there that night. Their ages ranged from 2 to 23. So at 12:30 a.m., after all the kids had gone to bed,
2 to 23?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. And yeah. Anyways, at 12:30 a.m., after all the kids had gone to bed, Jenny, the mother, went to answer the phone because the phone was ringing. I don't know if I said that. I'm not good at this.
It's okay.
She went to answer and she heard a woman laughing on the other end, but it sounded loud as if there was a party in the background, and the woman asked for someone who didn't live with the Sodders. So assuming it was a wrong number, she hung up. Noticing all the lights were on in the living room, the curtains hadn't been closed, just a couple things like that, she was slightly annoyed her kids didn't prepare the house before they went to bed. Also, one of their kids, Marion, was sleeping on the couch, but she turned off all the lights, closed the curtains, kind of got things ready for bed, and she went back to bed, only to be awoken 30 minutes later to a loud bang on her roof. However, she wasn't rattled enough, and she just went right back to bed. Now, the next thing she woke up to, which was less than an hour later, was smoke. The fire seemed to have started in the downstairs office. George and Jenny grabbed Sylvia, their 3-year-old daughter who was sleeping with them in their room.
Okay.
Marion, the 17-year-old daughter who was sleeping on the couch. And they also yelled upstairs as they were leaving. And when they got outside, they realized only 2 of their other kids had made it out. John, who was 23, and George Jr., who was 16. Maurice, who was 14, Martha, who was 12, Louis, who was 9, Jenny, who was 8, and Betty, who was 5, didn't make it out of the house. So, as any father would, George tried to save them, and seeing as he couldn't just go through the front door because the house was up in flames, he went around to a ladder that he had leaned up against the house up to a window, only to see that the ladder was gone. So he was like, I'm gonna drive my truck over and I'm gonna climb it and get up the house. And he was using his truck yesterday, so he goes to his truck, it won't start. So he goes to his other truck, won't start. Really weird. So then Marion sprints to their neighbor's yard to call the fire department. No answer. And one of the other neighbors who had seen the house break out in flames also called fire department. No answer. So one of the neighbors, I don't know which one, gets in their vehicle and tracks down the fire chief. And keep in mind, the Sodders only lived 2.5 miles from the fire department, like the fire station. Help didn't come until 8 a.m. the following morning. Yeah, which is like, what? You know, it's a little...
No, it's also weird that There was literally no answer.
Yeah, a little weird, you know. His truck won't start. Ladder's
Both of them.
missing. Both of them. Ladder's missing. Fire department's not picking up. Fire department doesn't even show up until the next morning. It's a little fishy,
That's really
you
weird.
know? Yeah. Um, and obviously by the time the fire department got there, house was a pile of ash. So a search party, which was at this time just volunteers, and it only lasted about 2 hours, um, like was going through all of the ashes and stuff to see if they could find the remains of any of the children. Um, and they were told no remains were found.
No remains.
None of them. Out of the 5 kids that were in there, no remains. So the fire chief Morris claimed a fire burning that long and that hot would have cremated the children entirely. But George pointed out he never smelled the incredibly pungent and unmistakable smell of flesh. And like multiply that by 5, like there's 5 kids, you would have had at least some smell. Because like have you ever accidentally like
No,
burnt your
yeah.
hair and like
Yeah.
it's a very
And
noticeable
it
smell.
smells weird, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to think if there's 5 kids in a burning house, you're going to
You
smell a
should
little
at
bit of
least
a,
smell something.
oh, what is that, you know? But no,
Yeah.
nothing. So also another thing to note is the fire only burned for about 45 minutes before the roof collapsed. And typically it takes in adults 2 or more hours to be cremated.
Oh.
Yeah. Just saying that.
Okay.
So the cause of fire was written as faulty wiring, which struck Jenny as odd because the lights were on just an hour before the fire broke out.
Yeah.
You know, and she had to turn them off. So
Yeah, because she,
if there's
yeah.
electrical problems, how were the lights on? Okay, whatever. So, considering it was Christmas Day, everybody that was looking, you know, they left to go do whatever. And they said that they'd get a more thorough search like after Christmas. But George decided to take things into his own hands and bulldozed 5 feet of dirt to build a commemorative garden for his kids.
Uh-huh.
Okay. But also, this is a crime scene. And he just
Yeah.
bulldozed 5 feet in the ground. And he just contaminated
Rip.
everything. So anything of evidence they would have had, gone now. Pretty stupid if you ask me. But you know what? He's grieving. He's maybe a little bit in and out of it. Doesn't really know what's happening. Okay. You do you.
Yeah.
Now, in 1946, he seen a picture in a magazine of all these ballet students. And he contacted the teacher, essentially saying that like one of them really looked like his daughter. Now, it didn't specify which one, but we could guess it was probably Betty.
Okay.
The magazine that he was like talking about was found. The photo he specified wasn't found though. Like no one's seen a photo that resembled what he explained, but they did find the magazine. Now, I won't get into too much detail, but George, the father, supposedly had many enemies around the town. You know, like as anyone would. Maybe you've got into a couple arguments or whatever with someone. But one of them was a salesman, and he was trying to get George to buy life insurance for his whole family. And when George
Yeah.
said no, he started to get a little bit, you know, a little mean, say some, you know, he got very like worked up.
Yeah.
He said, and I quote, "Your goddamn house is going up in smoke and your children are going to be destroyed."
Uh, oh, okay. So he
Huh. What?
he
Um,
called the house fire.
or did he do it?
Yeah.
And he
Maybe he
called the
did.
missing children. But
Yeah.
another note that I had written down is this was coming out of World War II. And I don't know if you know anything about it, but it was like the Germans and Italy and I think Japan versus like the US and like things like that. And
Okay.
he was an Italian man. So maybe not, I'm not saying they were racist, but maybe a little.
No, I can just imagine him saying that in an Italian accent now.
I can picture that actually. Um okay. Anyways, and then supposedly George had also had a gentleman wander into his yard, point to his fuse box and say, "This is going to cause a fire someday."
Oh,
But George had just gotten the wires checked by the electric company who said they were fine.
so it really could be him too,
Yeah,
because
but also, guys, the reason of the
faulty
fire was faulty
wiring.
wiring, but the wiring was
So
just checked. The lights were working. None of the wiring was wrong. But that might explain the fire, but that's not explaining the main problem, which is the missing kids.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the two older brothers also mentioned they had seen a strange man, like parked in his car on the highway. Or it was, I can't remember where it was. It was like highway, it was something, never
Highway
mind.
something.
Yeah, but watching the kids like very intently, the younger kids, as they came home from school. So essentially stalking these kids.
Creepy out, man.
Mm-hmm. Just wait though, things get a little bit crazy here.
Oh God.
This is where it gets good. So a couple more odd things just to be noted, or what's it called? Like your that kind of tells you what happened with the crime. I can't think of the word. Like clues, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So the missing ladder from the night of the fire was
Mhm.
placed on the telephone pole where the phone
So
line had been cut.
this is my bad arm. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Where the phone line had been cut. So someone moved the ladder from the window to the telephone pole and cut the phone lines.
So I think somebody committed arson. Is that what that
I
is?
don't know.
Burning
There's also
places
a
down?
report that the Sodder shed had been broken into, drain the fire. So while this man is saving his family or trying to, someone's breaking in to his shed and stealing tackle and blocks. It doesn't specify what it is. That's all I got was tackle and blocks.
Okay.
But like,
What?
really?
Why? As
Really?
the house is burning
Yeah.
down
Like,
and people are freaking out.
now I don't know why this part was happening. Later though, Sylvia, their 3-year-old daughter, was playing in the backyard, like
Okay.
in the rubble,
Yeah.
like the ashes,
Yeah.
and found a hard rubber object. So George identified this as, I'm gonna say this wrong too, um, a napalm pineapple bomb, which was typically used in war. Oh,
A
huh.
bomb?
Yes. So they found a bomb.
In oh, okay.
I don't know if it was still like if it could still explode or if it had already exploded. We
Yeah.
don't know that, but they did find a bomb. Now the guy that ruled, okay, this is insane to me. This is
Okay.
the worst part. The guy that ruled the fire accidental and said it was a wire problem
Mhm.
was the sales guy that threatened to murder him and his family. Who let this happen?
Wait,
Who let this happen?
wait, so the guy who said that it was
The guy who said your goddamn house is gonna burn and your kids are gonna
yeah,
whatever was the guy that said
it was
that ruled the fire accidental and said it was a wire problem. I know. Can we really need to pause because like that is so messed up.
who let
Who
this happen?
who let this happen?
Who let this happen?
Who let the dogs out? Like mhm.
That's good. I'm gonna move this down a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if it's
See,
going to
I
work
feel
well
like
cuz
when I
it's
was
not
the
really leaned up.
intro, my hair was on it, so I really hope that didn't mess anything up. If it did, I might cry.
I don't know if this microphone's working, but I hope it is.
Well, I know the
'Kay.
last time it was here, it was fine. So I'll just put it back
I know,
here.
but it's not. Mine's in a different spot. Okay.
No, yeah, I know.
Anyways, so over the years, as you can imagine, they hired several private investigators, or PIs, and got multiple reports of people seeing the children. Okay.
Okay.
Like after the fire. And then in 1952, a whole 7 years after the fire, a woman in Charleston, West Virginia, claimed she served the kids breakfast a week after they went missing. According to her, the kids were accompanied by 2 men and 2 women, all Italian. She had tried to talk to the children, but the men seemed very hostile and wouldn't let the kids speak to her.
Guys. The Italians are after them. I'm telling you, they're after these people.
Oh my gosh.
This poor family.
Yeah, see, like my microphone's pointing down. I'm gonna I don't really know what to do. I'm just gonna hold it like this.
Okay.
Sorry if you guys couldn't hear me very well. That might ruin this whole thing, but that's okay. Anyways. And then, in 1947, George contacted the FBI and received a letter back stating that it was out of their jurisdiction, but like if the local police and the fire department agreed to collaborate with them or like invited them in and said they could work on it, they could come and help. The local fire department and police declined.
What?
And were like, no, we don't want you guys to come check it out. You're telling me in this small town, if the FBI was like, I'm gonna come help your friends, or even if you didn't even like the guy whose family was burned and missing, we're gonna come help him, you just be like, no.
So the FBI offered to help.
Yeah, and they declined.
They got something to do with this.
100%.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause,
well, think about it, guys. I feel like it's so obvious who did it. Like, this guy literally cut the phone lines.
Oh, there's my water.
Said everything that was going to happen. Your kids are going to go missing. Your house is going to burn. And then it happens. And then he's the one that declares it was an accident.
It's obviously this guy, bro.
Also, if he's like a jury or whatever, that has to mean he's got power, meaning that could be why the fire department didn't show up. Anyways, and then I don't know why I say and then so much. One of the private investigators heard a rumor that the fire chief had in fact found human remains that day, like when they were searching through the rubble, but said not to upset them because it was Christmas. So the private investigator goes to the chief, to the fire chief, and is pressing him, and he's like, what's going on, you know? And the chief claimed to have found a heart, buried it in a box on site. What? This is where it gets even more messed up. No. Just wait. This is where it gets even more messed up. They dug the box up, and then they took it to a coroner, and the coroner said, no, this isn't a human heart. It's beef liver. Who in their right mind would say they found a human heart, buried it? Also, you're the chief of a fire department. Why are you burying a beef liver under this fire that happened? What? That doesn't even make sense. Too? I don't know.
If he was.
Actually, that's a good point. What do you have against the Italians, Peyton?
The Italians have been straight up against this family. This whole story.
Okay, that's valid.
Exactly.
So by this time, I don't think they ever got around to doing another thorough investigation, because this is when it says George decided to go back to the site
Uh-huh.
and he actually found pieces of a vertebrae, which is like human bones.
Thank you for
So he
explaining
sends
that.
it off to get tested for like DNA to see, who it was. And
Yeah.
they said it most likely belonged to a boy aged 16 to 17, like 6, 7. Um, latest, like oldest he could have been 23 and youngest he could have been 14 and a half. And the kids that were in the fire, let me go back to the ages here.
Please do.
The kids that were in the fire, the only other one would have been Maurice, who was 14, but they said like the youngest was 14 and a half, right? So none of these kids fit that description, meaning the vertebrae didn't belong to any of his children. Who did it belong to? I don't even think I want to know.
I,
Really weird,
I
right?
kind of want to know.
I don't like, why is there a random bone there? I mean, there's probably, I don't know. But
This is weird.
yeah, so that's the end of it. There's definitely some things that I didn't add in that would have been, maybe important, but I feel like to me this was a very good like kind of gist of what happened and all of
No.
the,
Yeah.
you know, but I thought this one was very interesting. I first listened to it on, the girl I listened to, her podcast
Yeah.
that I love. First listened to this a couple years back on the way to a soccer tournament actually, and I came across it again. And I was like, you know what? This is a really good one because there's so many things that just don't add up. Like it's so obvious someone else did this, but like there's nothing we can do about
I
it.
know it's so obvious that somebody did this, but they don't have
Yeah, but
enough
they just don't have enough to
information.
prove it. Yeah. And like obviously no one really looked into it, you know?
Clearly,
Yeah.
I'm curious if George, right, the father or
Mhm.
whatever, if he didn't do anything to, like, if he didn't do that. I'm thinking of it. Give me a sec. Cause you know how like at first he like did like a grave thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he didn't do that, I'm curious how differently it would go. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing though, they didn't go back to look anyways.
That's true.
Like they said they would and they just didn't. So, to be honest, if yeah, I'm going to tell you guys what I think happened, which I think everyone thinks happened. The salesman definitely
Did it?
did it, but did the
Um,
fire. But the part that doesn't add up to me is like, what happened to the children? How do 5 kids just go missing? You know?
why? Okay.
And like, why did no one in the police or the fire department said anything? They just went along with it and didn't check anything out. I just don't get it. Like, that, why?
I want to know why whoever went and broke into their shed while the house was burning down.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
another thing. Because
why?
you'd have to assume it was all by like the same group of people.
Maybe, yeah.
Because no one in their right mind is like, this house is on fire. I'm gonna go into the shed. They must have known that like there would be no police on scene,
Yeah.
no
They
fire
had
department.
to, there had to be more than one person
I
doing
guarantee
this.
there was like a group of people, especially because with the kids, if those were the
Yeah.
kids, there was
If
4
they were,
people seen with them. Yeah,
then they would all have to help.
yeah.
Well, she also, whoever the mother's name was, I don't remember her name. Did she not hear a big
Jenny.
did she not hear a big bang on the roof
Yeah,
and went back to bed?
she did.
So, I think that big bang was someone trying to get into the house, snatched all the children, then left, and then the house started burning on fire. But as they were snatching the children, someone was cutting the the phone wires or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
here's
something like that.
here's one thing that I kind of do see like why they would have done it. Is the kids that were missing, the 5 that were missing were young. Like they would have been the easiest to get to because they were
No,
I can't remember where I read it, but it said somewhere their bedrooms were all on the left side of the house or something,
Mhm.
like on the far end.
Okay.
And they left the 23-year-old, they left the 16-year-old, and they even left the
They left
17-year-old that was
all the
on the couch that would have been
older.
probably easiest to get to.
That would have been like the easiest person to get to.
Exactly. But that means they strategically took the 5 youngest kids.
Well, there was also that one guy sitting in his car watching the
And
younger kids.
Exactly. And the ones that went to school. So that's why the 3-year-old wouldn't have mattered. And then the other ones, like the older ones, wouldn't have mattered. Right?
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if, like,
This had to be planned.
but I feel like it wouldn't be just enough to, like, make a salesman angry at you. Like, he had to have had some other,
There had to
reason.
be so much, yeah. There had to be another
And
reason.
I wonder if it wasn't something to do, like, if the husband didn't do something, because it was about Italian people.
Yeah, what if?
Like, or not about, but, like,
No,
there's a lot
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Italian people, like, connections with that, you know?
I
I don't know. We're not going to talk our way to
maybe he.
what happened, but. What did you think about the case? Oh, no, what are you laughing at?
Really?
What did you think about the case?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
The Italians really had it out for them.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I
I think
mean,
it's sad, the injustice.
It
but-
is, and especially because they don't know if their children are actually like alive or something. Well, they.
And, like, I wonder what happened to the kid. It probably would have been something that, like, I don't even want to know.
I'm very curious.
I hope they just kind of took them to another country and let them live their lives with, like, foster families. But I know that's probably not what happened. They're, like, probably human trafficked or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably where we're going to end the episode
Yeah.
off.
That's a very weird case.
Yeah, we'll discuss this more when the video's up. But thank you guys for listening to us. I want you guys to comment any ideas you have or, like, any thoughts you have on this case. Or if you have any other things you know about it that maybe I didn't mention that would be important to know.
Yeah, 'cause she did all the research. She literally did everything.
I kind of liked it that way.
I liked it that way because I talked more, and I
Mhm.
wasn't sitting in the corner acting all quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, come back to our next episode if we make one.
If we end up posting this sometime and random people see us, it would help if y'all wanted to hear us talk about a different case.
Yeah, and if you know us, no, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
Like, if you know us, block us and please, like, don't ever speak to me again.
You
I
don't know
don't.
us. We
I don't
don't
want
know
to hear
you,
that.
and you don't know us.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Come back next time.
Come back.
Like and comment.